What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? It's been a minute. I've been busy, man. Been doing my thing. It's been busy, taking care of, business. Just, doing what I do. You do what you do. I do what I do. But I'm back. And I had posted a video not too long ago from Fonafara versus Cleverly. Because we had that fight. What was it? Like the 16th, October the 16th at the UIC Pavilion up here in Chi-Town, which was great, man. Casino for Life was there. I was like, yo, what's up, man? I hollered at him. I saw a lot of boxers and stuff like that, man. The atmosphere was great. But I'm going to get to my point. I'm going to talk about that night later. I'm going to try to hit you guys up with a video up on that, what went down. That whole day, like Monday. I'll try to put another video out on Monday, just talking about it. I ran on about it, but I'm gonna try to give me some rest. So I just want to say that Nathan Cleverly, in my opinion, and just to let you know, I watched this fight live. They didn't have no big screen on Spike. For some reason, these guys usually have the big screen. Fonfara came up with the 8-count promotions. You got the manager. Those guys promote the fights and stuff like that. It was an 8-count promotions or productions or whatever like that, and then maybe a couple other local promoters. But the 8 counts, I remember, they didn't have the big screen on for some reason at the UIC Pavilion. But long story short, I seen it live. The seating was great. I can actually see their faces. I can make out who they were, and I can see who was getting busted up and stuff like that. I was close enough to see spit fly. I got 20/20. I got better than 20/20 vision. And in my opinion, it's going to be a shocker to a lot of people because it's going to go against the grain. I checked out a few YouTube channels, and Fonfara lost, in my opinion. Nathan Cleverly, I believe, got gypped. Not robbed, but he was like, he got nickel and dimed at the end of the day. That was his fight. That was his fight. Saying that like 115, 113, or whatever the score. Like maybe he could have just had like one round. He could have won it by one. It should have went to 6-5. Could have been 6-5 or whatever like that. That would have been 11. So I guess it would have had to be 115, 113, because none of the guys got knocked down. But it would have had to go into like Nathan Cleverly. The judges' scorecard, they had him like for far up like what it was like 16 or like 12. That was a little bit far fetched, but it should have been Nathan should have got that fight, man. He came out with the high guard. He was schooling, Fonfara. Like a lot of people were saying, like, dude, I'm in there with nothing but Polish, fans, like fans of like Fonfara, and they're saying, like, they're saying like his own people are saying, like, look, especially that first round, I was like, man, Fonfara is getting his butt whipped, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking too good. Dude, this is the crowd, man. And so, I don't know what you guys saw on TV or what anybody saw on TV or on their stream and stuff like that, but I'm getting the feel of the crowd. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting the feel of the crowd. And a lot of people were cheering, but they were cheering just to root them on. And that's like home court advantage right there. I mean, you hear about it and you kind of, I didn't see it. It didn't really dawn into me how strong the fans can influence the judges. But I definitely saw it tonight because like the first 4 rounds or so, Cleverly's like beating the hell out of Fonfara, man, right? And so I listened to EJ, boxing, EJ Earl Jarrett. And he said that Fonfara, didn't have any bruises on his face and stuff like that. He's fine. Like I said, I don't know what stream he looked at or what he looked at on YouTube or whatever like that. But nah, man, bro, man wasn't fine, and I can see that from my seats, you know. Um, and then not only that, oh, I got another story to tell. You know what I'm saying? I got another story, but it's gonna be another video. I looked Fonfara in the face. Let's just say that, and like shook his hand, like, "Hey, what's up?" And he had bruises on his face. He had quite a few bruises on his face. Dude was marked up, man. He had ecchymosis and stuff like that on his face, dude. The guy had a black eye, whatever. And so he was marked up, and I think. Anyway, long story short, man. Before the fight even started, man. Before the fight even started, a lot of guys, I was saying like, "Oh man, Cleverly's gonna get blasted." I'm like, well, I mean, where did Cleverly come from with this, man? It's almost like he just, I don't know, he got a new trainer or whatnot. Maybe he looked terrible against Tony Bellew in his last fight because of, the weight. Maybe he had some kind of like therapy, emotional, psychological help or something like that after the Kovalov beating or something. But he looked brand new, man. I'm like, oh, dude, this is like the former, well, what was it, the WBO champion, light heavyweight champion. This is the dude that was supposed to be fighting B Hop and whatnot, like that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people not, a lot of people were, he wasn't necessarily like the best light heavyweight champion. A lot of people didn't, believe in him and stuff like that, especially like his resume, prior to fighting Kovalov and whatnot. But anyway, he was the champion. Hey, that's WBO. A lot of Europeans pick up that belt, and he was the champion, and we can't knock him. That's WBO. WBO is a good sanctioned body. You know what I'm saying? You get a belt. It's a good belt, man. It's a lot of belts out there, but it's one of the good ones. Yeah, it's one of the major ones. It's not like you're dealing with some minor league, Brooklyn belt or something like that. They're trying to sell with with the Peter Quill and Danny Jacobs fight or something. So yeah. Long story short, let me get back to my point. Back on track. I thought he was gonna get blown out, and they were like, yeah, but other guys were like, yeah, but he's supposed to be pretty tough. Man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And yeah, man, Nathan Cleverly was tough, and he had the high guard and everything like that. He was just outboxing. Fonfara was pretty flat footed for some reason. I don't think he thought that Nathan Cleverly was that quick and nimble, which Nathan Cleverly is, and he's pretty fast with his hands and stuff like that. He used the high guard on him. And just stuck to his boxing. And Fonfara looked like he was like a plutter or whatever like that. He looked like his feet was like he was in quicksand and stuff. And then it got to a point where Nathan Clever was like showboating and like slapping this dude upside the head, landing all kind of crazy combinations, and everybody was worried. They were like, "Man, he dude, look, he can't keep man." He can't keep going on taking these shots and stuff like that, man. This doesn't look good. He don't look too good tonight. People were saying that, man. People were saying that. And so here it goes in like the fifth or the sixth round. Cleverly starts showboating and whatnot. It wasn't until like Fonfara landed that uppercut. I think it was one of like the sixth round or seventh round, and he started coming back. Then everybody's like, oh, they're going like that shit crazy and stuff, And then you could tell like one guy was like really into it. He was like, let's go Fonfara, let's go Fonfara. You know what I'm saying? He was like really into it, and everybody else was like kind of quiet because you thinking to yourself like, man, Fonfara's getting his ass whooped, right? But yeah, he does an uppercut, and I guess I think that was the shot that busted his nose. And then you know what? I didn't come home and watch the feed on my DVR, because like I said, man, I'm busy. I got stuff to do and stuff. So, because I was like, man, I just watched it live, and I'm not gonna sit here watching for like another 40 minutes and analyzing it yet. And I got other stuff to do, whatever. I want to chill, And and do take care of some other business. So anyway, it looked like he had cauliflower in his ear. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna have to look at the live feed. The DVR feed on that one footage. But anyway, I think Fonfara came on too late because like right after that six when he had like a little comeback, Nathan Cleverly took some of his shine. I mean, he was coming back and stuff like that, but he wasn't landing a lot of those punches. A lot of those punches didn't land clean, and I can see why judges have like certain this the scorecards might be skewed sometimes because when you watching it live, you don't get to see the television and stuff like that. So you don't get to see like all the clean shots, that somebody else might see. But from the clean shots I saw, Nathan cleverly landed more because Fonfara's head was like going back and forth and whatnot. And Fonfara was messing with that left hook a lot. Nathan Cleverly was ducking underneath his left hook. He should have been going to the body. He wasn't. He was doing a lot of head hunting. And I think it wasn't until the later rounds when he like found his groove and stuff like that, he started busting up, Nathan Cleverly. But by that time, in my opinion, Nathan had, put quite a few rounds, in the bank and stuff like that, and that he was up, he was up to me, and then the rounds were kind of close. So it depends on who you want to win, and I think at this point, with Fonfara beating Chavez Jr. and him having the crowd, in his favor, it's in his city, Chicago. The big Polish population and everything like that. They willed him to a win, man. Cause Fonfara got very animated and stuff like that. You could tell he was getting spanked, man. He was getting animated, and he was going back and forth with Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly like was all in his head, man. And to me, he lost, man. I'm sorry, man. He lost. Nathan Cleverly like outclassed Fonfara, in my opinion, with a lot of the showmanship and stuff like that. I don't think Eddie Hearn was there. That's funny. Like I think EJ and somebody like that on a boxing hangouts or whatever like that, Tuesday hangouts, whatever. Beats and EJ be doing. Earl Judd like mentioned that. Eddie Hearn was there. Eddie Hearn don't come out, unless he knows a fighter's gonna win or something like that. Either he said that about Eddie Hearn or it was Frank Warren. It was one of those dudes. I want to believe it was Eddie Hearn because I saw Eddie Hearn. I'm like, oh man, that's Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. So he was down there, and that was sort of like a cue. How you got like a premonition. Who's gonna win or whatever like that. I was surprised to see him that he traveled with Nathan Cleverly on his like first fight back, and I'm thinking like, why is Eddie Hearn here? You get what I'm saying? Like this is not like the biggest fight. You know what I'm saying? We're not in Vegas. We're in Chicago. It's not like Vegas, New York, or anything like that. I mean, and it's not like it was at the United Center, and this was like for a championship bout or anything like that. It was like the UIC Pavilion. Probably get like 8,000 people if you're lucky up in that place. It's a small venue, but you could. Yeah, I mean, you could pack the place with a good number of fans. But I'm just saying, it's still a small venue. And then, yeah, man, I just think that Cleverly was gypped, man. Fafara probably got that last round because he started feeling his groove and everything like that. He started, using the foot movement, man, like he was doing against Chavez, man. He started boxing, and, getting on his toes, using his jab, stepping to the side. I was like, man, why ain't this guy stepping to the side or something like that? He's like going straight forward, like a putter. like a zombie or something like that. He's not stepping side to side, using any foot movement. He's not going to the body. He wasn't moving his head. Wasn't bending his knees. And then he just started doing that later on. And then he added a little bit, showboat, a little showmanship at the end of the day. Which I think probably won him the fight. They probably won the fight because by this time Nathan Cleverlys was like a little bit busted up. His face started to get marked up a little bit. Because I'm not gonna say Fonfara didn't land anything. I'm just saying that early on it was all Nathan Cleverlys. It turned around the sixth, and believe the sixth, the seventh or the eighth. Cleverly came back. He did something, and I want to believe he snuck in at least three of those, if not two of those later rounds. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he dominated like the first 4 or 5 rounds. Then round six, what's the name, had a little comeback, but Cleverly won that round. You know what I'm saying? The only reason he got busted up because that uppercut got him, and because he was clowning. He was clowning for a bit. He got too confident. And then Fonfara, I just got really motivated, got really animated, and it's like, hey, I'm in a fight, And then on another thing, after the fight, man, I'm hanging around, right? His promoter and his team were grateful that the judges gave him the fight. Let's just say that they're happy he won. But they wouldn't have been surprised if Nathan Cleverly got the decision. Let's just say that. So I'm going to end it right there. His own team. I'm sitting there. I'm like, minding my own business. One guy was like, "Oh, are you with the?" He was like, "Who's this guy?" Because I'm like sitting there, and there was like some other famous guy there, and they got his promoter, like one of his managers there. They count up like tickets, ticket sales or something like that. And his one guy, says, "Hey, that guy was tough. Nathan Cleverly was tough." And they mention like, "Yo, if he steps it up above like Nathan Cleverly, like I don't even know these guys don't even know who Nathan Cleverly is or was." And they talk about if he steps it up, from when they talk about Fonfara, he's gonna be in trouble. He's gonna be in trouble. And he's like, he's got to do way better. You know what I'm saying? Like tonight was like a shit night for Fonfara. Excuse my language. It was like a crappy night for Fonfara. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, Nathan Cleverly to me got gypped. He didn't get robbed. He just, you know, he's just gonna have to, just take one for the team. But he looked real good, man. I'm like, dude, you still got it. You can still make some money in the UK. You can get one of them Commonwealth belts or the British belt, whatever you want to do. But you still got a career, and you look good, and stay active. You probably get another a shot at some kind of interim belt or maybe even a title shot. I'm not saying he'll win, especially if Kovloff and Stevenson is around, but he might get a shot at Stevenson. But he's going to be a valuable opponent, for somebody. And he's a prize fighter, so he gets another check. So, all right, man. I probably rambled on a little too long. But I'll catch y'all later. All right, bye.